Welcome to LatinPerDiem. Today we're looking at John Calvin, Institutes of the Christian Religion, Book 1, Chapter 5, Section 9, from the 1559 edition, Knowledge of God the Creator. Let's take a look. Proinde David in enerabilem eius magnitudinem ante confessus, post quam ad operum commemorationem de scendit, eam ipsam se eneraturum profitetur. Now this is from the 1559 edition, but it was printed at Geneva in 1618. Calvin continues. He says, Proinde, for this reason, David, before he confessed, ante confessus est, being implicit here, confessed the magnitudinem eius, he confessed God's greatness as inenerabilem, God's inexplicable greatness. Afterward, he descended, descended to a commemorationem, that is a recounting, a remembering of God's works, God's operum. Now, inenerabilem, of course, is an adjective modifying magnitudinem, and they are both feminine, singular, and accusative. Now this word inenerabilem, let's take it apart and look at it more closely. It has a number of constituent elements. First of all, it has, of course, the ending here, the accusative ending, which is M, or just M if you wish. Then it has the suffix here, bil, which has to do with ability. It has the stem, nara, which is cognate with the verb naro, narare, which means to express or recount a series of events. And then there is the preposition a, which is a form of x. Here it's emphatic. And finally, the inseparable negative prefix in. So not able to be expressed. Interestingly, Calvin says that David confessed this. Now this is from confiteor. And confiteor is a compound of cum, or con, and fateor, which means to say or to acknowledge. So there's a bit of a pun here. He confessed the inexpressible greatness, the magnitudinem, that is not able actually to be expressed. And whose is it? Well, it's God's, eius here in the genitive. Let's clear the slate. He did this after he had come down to, he descended to a recounting, commemoratione, of God's works, operum. Now, commemoratione is cum and memor, which means to remember, of course. And descendit here is in the perfect tense. It's used much in the same way that we would say in English, not to descend to particular details, come down to the fine points. After doing that, profitetur, he confesses. Notice that Calvin is setting up a bit of a rhetorical comparison here. Confessus, from confiteor, as I've said, and now profitetur, which is from another deponent verb, namely profiteor, profiteri, second conjugation deponent, profiteor, profiteri. And enaraturum, you can see, is obviously related to inenerabilem. So Calvin says that David acknowledges that he, himself, shall recount eam ipsam, that very thing, namely God's greatness. Please join us next time for more Calvin.